our Munich studio to the second day of the x-dream events. Today we are discussing management, and our topic now is production management from idea to invoice. My guest here today is Yannick from Teamium production. Hello, Yannick.
Yeah, hi Marina.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Good. So we get some interesting discussion earlier today in post-production. It was a nice panel, and now I'm pleased to address more specific about production management.
Okay, let's start with our first question. Yannick, what does production management means in general, and what areas of value creation chain it covers?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. By the fact is, when we're using this word production management, if you're kind of hardware or gear oriented, you will think about fulfill resources. Some on the other side, when we organizing the production, what it means is usually you start with an ID, and an ID it's getting an estimate. How should you do a production? How can you do it? And what the metrics, what it involves, what kind of infrastructure, equipment, and personnel is required. Then you go, usually when you get a financial, when you get a budget there, you may go and not go. And if you go, that's how you start to plan the production. And planning a production involves multiple partners. You may have resource internally, or you may need to outsource a resource. So that's where it starts to make a complex scheduling and assigning the resource. And production is whatever is live in post-production, you have to track that. So what kind of tools or component do you have to measure the progress and to measure that the production is good, is on time, on track for the budget, and at the end, ultimately, is pushing this financial information. So here some invoice are involved, and some, of course, some expenses has to be covered. So it's a pretty long process from ideation into the billing.
Okay, understands. So many areas, so in cost estimates and production and planning and scheduling and invoicing and data analysis, so many areas. And what part of these processes Teamium software covers?
So when we have designed Teamium, we found that it's important to cover the whole chain. From, again, ideation to project scheduling until invoicing. So Teamium cover right from the beginning and managing all the steps between until project production completion.
Oh, great, good. Okay, so with the Teamium software you can cover all the parts of the production management. That is great. And what type of companies might be interested in your software, and what type of productions?
Yeah. We address all the media entertainment industry. So on this profile, you can see some content producer, TV channel, local channel, news channel, sports event company that can use Teamium. The way we have done that, we have embedded user-defined fields, user-defined workflow. So any companies can easily integrate their own automation, their own process into the system, and even the UI change. So when you're managing a news production, you will get maybe a different type of UI, a different type of dashboard, and Teamium gives a flexibility to any user to build the own view according to its process. Managing a short form or managing a long form, that's also different scale on the scheduling and different UI. So we are really built the platform to hold part of the ecosystem from content creators and service provider and live production.
Okay. And what about the sizes of the companies? Should they be kind of large enterprises or smaller ones, or what's What are they?
We have three different platforms. I mean, three different plans. So when we do that to serve the let's say the medium size from 5 to 10 users. So we have a subscription model that you can start only with 2 users if you want, and just get the bare functionality of scheduling and production management, and then you can extend. When we go with let's say national broadcaster, international content creator, they might looking for more integrated solution, and therefore we will suggest the enterprise solution that can integrate into existing solution on the financial side, for example, or traffic side.
Okay. And as far as I know, there are several scheduling applications exist on the market, and how Teamium is different from them.
So what we learn from when we start, we didn't have a 30 years legacy or like some other software. So we start really the platform on the SaaS. So it was a main focus to be a collaborative tools and available in the cloud. So that's one of the first difference with the other tools. The second part is as we talked a little bit earlier, we starting from ideation until let's say billing. And how we did that, we analyzed that most of the time, any production company or the team, the administration, have to enter 4 to 6 times the same data. You can imagine when you get a budget approval, you will say, oh, for this production, you need a studio, you need 2 moderators, you need 5 cameras. So that's starting from the budget, but then you have to carry multiple times this information from the scheduling itself, for the time reporting, and maybe for the procurement of this. And then at the end, how you consolidate that. So many times people using disjointed tools. So you enter in a spreadsheet or even some different software, and that's taking time, and that's also a risk of errors. So what we have done in Teamium is putting all this information in one platform and enter once. And I took that from one of our international clients. They're using Teamium, and say they call the single source of truth, because they can hold the content inside the Teamium.
Okay, great. Well said, single source of truth. All information inside, you do not need any other tools. Great. Okay, so the next question to you, Yannick. Broadcaster networks require enterprise features. How does Teamium fit in this segment?
Yeah, we have done into Teamium based on the cloud. That's very important. So we have made multiple, I would say, UI and multiple access to that. So therefore, we built that. It's a little bit technical, but we have built our own API, RESTful. It's a public API, and we open it to different other vendors. So that's make an easy integration. We totally understand when you deploy Teamium to a facility, or let's say take a broadcaster or a big enterprise, they have already in place a financial system. They have already in place a traffic. So Teamium fit pretty well into that, and we are really optimized the settings and the configuration to really in a few days to be able to push directly through the API. Security, it's also important. So what we have done, we also using, we have many integration with well-known single sign-on. So that's also, I don't want to mention name, but 2 major US company, we have done such integration. And if you don't use and you don't want to subscribe to a SSO, we are also going through security with 2-factor authentication. So that's interesting for, let's say, small to medium size solution. Mm-hmm. But integration is go really well in enterprise through this, mostly for the API and through the application. We have built also specific application to facilitate this integration.
I see. Okay, interesting. And besides this big news channel, can you share maybe some other use cases?
Yeah. to pursue on this API integration, we have integrated with Copal an RCS solution that you can, the story, I mean, NRCS is a main tool for the journalist. But what we've seen, and these vendors, this software provider, acknowledge that they don't know about the available resource. And what you get, what you have on the story, you say, oh, okay, I need a camera, I need a live stand-up somewhere, but you don't know exactly the resources are there. So they rely on Teamium to update real-time resource availability and also cost. You know, underline is always a cost on each project. So the way you will do a live coverage, there is some cost involved. So that's the integration is Teamium is really on the back end there for this NRCS to push any resource information availability. That's one of the example. And at the end is consolidate any cost. So you can easily measure how much a story will cost to you to produce and to broadcast.
Okay, so it basically means that each producer can just have an overview of what's going on now, where the equipment goes, who is on the project, and how much it would cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is great, sounds great. Okay, and how does Teamium pricing works? What are the options and so on?
So the free plans, most of the solution is based on the cloud. So you just, let's say if we go to the simple, the first solution we have called Essential, it's a scheduling and project management component. So you can go directly on the website and you can go and subscribe for licenses. So that's, let's say, a plug and play solution to subscribe. Then we go to the two other, we call the Pro and the Enterprise. They are using the same software with some user experience slightly different, where in the professional we give different access, different management of the platform. And that's, you need to go through x-dream to go for the acquisition or buying the platform. AWS, it's our preferred solution for hosting. However, this Pro and Enterprise can be also hosted on premises. And that's also something to, it's more a project management type where we deliver on premises.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. We were discussing mostly the big companies, the enterprise, the big NRCS. But for example, if I'm a small post-production house, like 5-10 people, half of them are freelancers and maybe some more freelancers, what are my options? Would I need this tool for me?
Yes, I will start with the essential. The first thing that you will say, most of these, let's say, when we're talking about 5 to 10 user company, they creating a budget. They're creating quotation to their client. And that's usually, most of the time, it's a silo thing. They're using a spreadsheet or any tools for that, or CRM. The second part is how you convert this quotation into a schedule itself. And that's usually, it's very manual until you use Teamium. So the essential version gives you the capability to seamlessly transform any quotation into a scheduling project. And at the end, you decide, I mean, either you take a home billing solution, or you can even interface on the essential with QuickBooks as a financial system. It's one that we have done the integration with. More solution, cloud solution will be also available. And when you will feel that maybe the essential, you will feel maybe some limitation at one point in time, what you could be the next step? The next step is, again, by a simple click, moving to the Pro version. The Pro version will give capability to manage roster, manage time report, do more sophisticated equipment management with barcoding and that. So we go into, let's say, different type of product at a middle range product for us, the Pro version. But start with the essential will be the right move.
So can I say that Teamium is a kind of a CRM tool, planning and all-in-one tool, even for the small companies?
Yeah, we let's say CRM is very focused on customer relationships. So we have one part is a CRM, and the second part I will call let's say kind of ERP, enterprise resource planning, where you can drive your home company, driving the resource. Let's say be in respect of. I take an example of labor rules. You're working with people. You need to track the time, but ensure they're doing properly and you're respecting any national labor rules. So that's very important to get that. When you start, and a simple question I ask when I talk to prospect and clients, and say, how many times you entering this data? And again, this is really where we are fighting is reducing the cost-effective, let's say, cost laborers in administration of the production.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So that's 5-10 years, 5-10 people companies can also consider your product as useful and cost-saving. Okay. From what I heard about the scheduling tool, it's a challenge to capture the production cost and track last-minute changes. How does Teamium handle that?
So it's very often it's last-minute changing, and this is is never according to the plan. So when we start, we building the model with the cost layer. It's I would say it's hidden from most of the user. Only the financial people, production manager can access to that, of course. We get some rate card for different type of role. So you get, and even, this industry is working, let's say 80% is a flex labor freelancer, and the freelancer may have multiple hats. We can do multiple tasks. And of course, the rates might be different. So in Teamium, we're able to capture that, and we capture on one the time and the cost. And also, we call this the price, that how much you will sell to your client. And the way we have, as it is a collaborative tool, any task, given task to the freelancer or to your team members, we tracking the cost and the time. And therefore, we adapt and we can we can actualize the overall project cost.
Okay. You mentioned different rights. So, for example, only producer have access to some data, the other collaborators not. Can you please tell a little bit more about that? So, the different rights for different type of users.
Yes. The Teamium, it's organized. I'm all talking on the enterprise version. The enterprise version, you can configure as many as you like business units. And that's a very interesting and powerful feature, because a business unit, I take an example of an international broadcaster we have. They got an office in LA that's very focused on the studio. They get some offices focused on post-production, other focus on mobile production. And bottom line, let's say VP operation and VP of production need to get a full report of the whole activities. So managing by business unit, each of them may have a specific workflow. Each of them can access to some unique resources. And the way we have done is to optimize resourcing among different business units. So therefore, you can say that you can publish some resource availability. And instead of renting or hiring someone from another company, they can dig into their internal tank of resources. That's optimizing the resource and personal. So that's one thing. And of course, to manage that, we have to create roles. And these You can create, there is no limit in the roles you create, and the role is defined per business unit, and you can access read write, of course, and even to some layout. So Teamium might look very different from one business unit to the other, based also on different roles. So we make, and I take a few more things, is we're talking about hours to configure that. It's extremely simple to organize the right management.
Okay, so when we are talking about the optimizing the different parts of the production, we expect some cost savings. What are these cost savings in terms of Teamium usage might be?
We estimate a super fast return on investment. From what we hear from our clients, 60 to 7% of the cost saving can be achieved within 9 months. The different factor you can put, you can measure is the administration time required to enter multiple time. The second, we also using some machine learning on the procurement. Some of the resource you may use several times the same vendors. So what also we have we have a bidding module to speed up any process. So basically you can eliminate email chains directly from the Teamium platform. You can invite vendors, they can bid, and what you can see, even during some season, our machine learning allows us to tell you that what the previous price you cost, let's say you have renting an equipment, and what could be, and what the average about different location and country, and even by model of the equipment. So that's way you optimizing your procurement cost. The third way is real-time dashboard and real-time cost management. What does it mean? That you can create scenario. You can say, oh, if I take this option, what will be my bottom line cost? And you can create multiple versions of a project and finally pick up the one you feel more suitable. So it could be cost-driven or it could be time-driven. So that's also one of the power, and that's where Teamium helps you to saving cost and of course time.
All right, great. And except for saving the costs, what can you offer to earn money?
We have also adding to this platform multiple microservices. So we were talking production scheduling, but it's not only that. What we discovered at Teamium is if we want really get people to collaborate together is not only by email chain, as just mentioned. So we have creating a own microservice with our own chat. So I take an example, when you drive, you have to create, you have a live production, the call sheet is fully digital, you can get on mobile. The chat, we create automatically a chat with a group on a chat with a dedicated channel into our system. So all these like simple features, simple needs that where you have to go out to the platform, we have totally embedded into the Teamium platform. Same for the notes, any meetings or any task you have. You get production meeting, everything is recorded. Just remember one single source of truth. And it's true for any communication channel. What could be the chat, could be the notification, could be any message. So we also, I can share that we will also go to a Slack interface as well.
Okay, so sounds very interesting and exciting. But when we are talking about the changing the production scheduling system or buying the new one, it might be very challenging for the company to start with a completely new system or change it from the old one. What's Teamium approach to that?
We have spent a lot of time to design our own application for the configuration and the data migration. So what we have done, when you, and it's true, and you know, we take really deep analysis with I would call consumer-like product. And we really learn from the consumer how we can speed up any professional enterprise deployment. So what we have done is directly from Teamium, you can get your spreadsheet as a template. You can populate yourself, or we get, if you want professional services, we can help you. We get a team to do that. So when you got this spreadsheet, all of your information, for the list of your vendor, the list of your client, personal, staff, rate card, everything is available into a formatted spreadsheet. And just by a single click, you can import into Teamium. And even more, we go also to some preset models. So based on the experience from the return from our client, you can say, oh, my profile is more post-production house. My profile is production. And therefore, we suggesting some pre-configuration. Of course, this configuration you can always change. You can always modify, add, but the flexibility is right there. So the data migration is not something you don't have to worry anymore, because it's really importing a spreadsheet.
Okay, very interesting. So you can help with the data transition. You have some presets, so you can recommend the better options, or I believe you can even create from scratch something for the companies, yes?
Yes. So we, as part of the professional services, we also doing sometimes, if you require some business assessment, we can help you to review your current process and workflow and then integrate into the platform. So another thing is the application is extremely, very intuitive. And for training, we doing online training. And we start, and let's say we didn't expecting as everyone the corona, but in this case it's pretty helpful for remote deployment. That online training is there. We get also a support website that people can access to all the information, very short content, short form, and they can go up and running even if we are not there. It's a self-sufficient deployment platform.
Thank you, Yannick. Thank you for such an interesting talk. We already spent all our 30 minutes for that. Thank you everyone for listening to it. We were discussing the Teamium production management tool that can be used by the larger enterprise companies like big newsers or media broadcasters, and also the smaller ones, post-production from 5 to 10 people. So many nice features help you not only save costs but also earn money, because it's a one tool where you can manage all your production from the idea to invoicing. Thank you very much for being with us. Please join us in the coffee bar in a few minutes. You can ask Dan, Yannick, any questions that you have. And after the coffee bar talk, there will be a product demo in the demo room on the website. Please join us there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Yannick.
Thank you, Marina.